Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our live broadcast of the arrival of the President of the Republic of Rwanda. Good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us for this live broadcast coming to you from the Norman Manley International Airport. We are on the tarmac. My name is Stacey Ann Smith with the team here for the arrival of the President of the Republic of Rwanda, His Excellency Paul Kagame, to Jamaica. President Kagame is here for a 3-day visit. He will depart the island on Friday, and it is in fact a very blustery afternoon, very windy, as you can see, and we are anticipating the landing of his aircraft, which should be coming in momentarily. You hear the sounds in the background of the Guard of Honor made up by the Jamaica Defense Force. You will notice the Guard of Honor is formed up, and this is the standard for a state. It's the highest level of relations between two countries and usually lasts 2 to 3 days. This week's visit is of special significance as it takes place during Jamaica's Diamond Jubilee. In fact, the President is scheduled to be at the well-anticipated launch of Jamaica 60 later this evening. I mentioned we are expecting the President's land any minute now, and thanking you again for joining us. Welcome everyone who is watching via live stream on the Jamaica Information Service website at jis.gov.jm and on our social media pages, as well as on the television station of your choice. My name is Stacey Ann Smith, and I'm so happy to be here to guide you through this very special and historical occasion. I did mention, of course, that this is an official visit, a state visit rather, of President Paul Kagame of the Republic of Rwanda. You would have just heard the playing of the national anthem, signaling the royal salute given to His Excellency Governor General Sir Patrick Allen, who has arrived, rather, and signaling the official start of the proceedings here, this official welcome. We have many dignitaries here, the Prime Minister, several members of his cabinet. We do have members of the Senate who are here. We have senior other government leaders. The head of the JDF is here, and we are, as I mentioned before, anticipating the arrival of President Paul Kagame of the Republic of Rwanda, and he is here for a 2-day state visit. His itinerary is very busy. He will be having quite a bit of engagements over these 2 days, and will leave the island on Friday. That's Good Friday. And it will be, as I mentioned before, a very hectic visit for him and his delegation. Among the things that, or the engagements that President Kagame will have, will be attending the official launch, the media launch of Jamaica 60 at Jamaica House this evening. He will also address a joint sitting of the Houses of Parliament tomorrow, that's Thursday, and we do anticipate hearing more about the bilateral relations between Jamaica and Rwanda and how those relations will advance. Of course, the President will also be meeting with the leader of the opposition, and immediately as he leaves the tarmac here at the Norman Manley International Airport, he will be going to lay a floral tribute at King's House, at the monument of our first national hero, the Right Excellent Marcus Garvey. And of course, let me just give you some quick background, some information on Rwanda. For those who do not know, Rwanda is a republic and located in Central Africa. The country is known as the land of 1,000 hills, and unlike Jamaica, it is not surrounded by water at all. Rwanda is landlocked, bordered to the north by Uganda, to the east by Tanzania, to the south by Burundi, and to the west by the Democratic Republic of Congo. Its capital city is Kigali. The country has a population of more than 12 million people, and Rwanda is regarded as one of the most successful African states. It's expected that this week's visit will help to deepen the relationship between Jamaica and Rwanda, and we understand that the Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, had extended an invitation to President Kagame maybe 2 years ago, but that visit was delayed because of the onset of COVID, the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. And so this long-awaited, most anticipated state visit is happening. As I mentioned before, we are standing by for the aircraft to land here at the Norman Manley International Airport. And just to give you a little background on President Kagame, who is in fact a very influential figure on the African continent and within the African Union itself. President Kagame is 65 years old, and according to his official biography, beginning in 1990 as commander of the forces of the Rwandan Patriotic Front, the RPF, he led the struggle to liberate Rwanda. He first became president of Rwanda in the year 2000. And in 2003, he was elected to serve a term of 7 years. And during those 7 years, the country made unprecedented socio-economic and political progress and consolidated peace, stability, as well as social cohesion among Rwandans. And you may recall those persons who are history buffs and those who who would have been adults or knowledgeable in the 1990s, Rwanda went through a difficult period, civil war and genocide, and coming out of that, it is indeed remarkable that Rwanda is today considered one of the most successful African nations, despite that kind of turmoil within the country. So President Kagame is known for, you know, his strong leadership and for bringing the country not just beyond that period of turmoil, but to where the country is having unprecedented growth and, you know, social cohesion, which, as I mentioned, is remarkable given the history that they have had. He is currently the chairperson of the African Union Development Agency, Heads of State and Government Orientation Committee, and by all indications, President Kagame is leading his country through a period of great development. It is extremely windy here. I thought my producer may have been saying something to me, but it is very, very difficult to hear based on the wind. Thankfully, it is nice and bright and sunny. Very, very, very bright here at the Norman Manley International Airport on the tarmac. And as I mentioned before, for this state visit, the Governor General, Sir Patrick Allen, the Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, members of his cabinet are here to welcome the President as he arrives. We are, in fact, standing by for that. The President will receive a ceremonial welcome with 21 gun salute by the Jamaica Defense Force, and that will signal the beginning. You've been hearing the 21 gun salute being done by the Jamaica Defense Force, and you are looking at the aircraft that has landed carrying the President of the Republic of Rwanda, His Excellency Paul Kagame, to Jamaica. He is arriving today for a 2-day state visit, which will come to an end on Friday. And as I mentioned earlier, this week's visit is of special significance as it does take place during our own Diamond Jubilee. That 21 gun salute started when the aircraft touched down and will end when the aircraft comes to a stop and the chocks applied. 21 gun salute is done as a military honor, and the practice began centuries ago as a symbolic gesture to mark historic occasions. So the team applies the chocks and the aircraft completes its landing and taxiing and is stationary at the designated ramp. And in a moment, the aircraft steps and red carpet will be in place. And I think you should, right, this is a better shot. The Chief of State Protocol, Ambassador Sandra Grant Griffiths from Jamaica. She is to the, of the three figures to the right of your frame. She is on the left. Beautiful blonde curls. And she's accompanied by Ambassador Moses Rugima of Rwanda. And they both will ascend the steps of the aircraft to welcome the President. And while they wait to ascend those steps, let me give you some idea of the welcoming party who are here awaiting President Kagame's descent of those steps. His Excellency the Governor General, Prime Minister Andrew Holness, the Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Mark Golding, members of the Cabinet, Dr. the Honorable Nigel Clark, Senator the Honorable Kamina Johnson-Smith, the Honorable Audley Shaw, the Honorable Olivia Grange, the Honorable Carl Samuda, the Honorable Edmund Bartlett, Dr. the Honorable Christopher Tufton, the Honorable Desmond Mackenzie, the Honorable Delroy Chuck, the Honorable Favour Williams, and we now see the Chief of State Protocol, Ambassador Sandra Grant Griffiths and Ambassador Moses Rugima of Rwanda. They have descended the steps of the aircraft and they now await the arrival of the Governor General, the Prime Minister and the Chief of Defense Staff, who are being escorted by Sophia Moulton of the Office of the Prime Minister, and they will await the descent of President Kagame. We remind viewers that the visit represents an important opportunity for the deepening of the bilateral relationship between Jamaica and the Republic of Rwanda. And we see President Kagame Ambassador Grant Griffiths introduces President Kagame to the Governor General, and he in turn introduces President Kagame to Prime Minister Andrew Holness, and it is indeed a warm welcome, bright smiles, and the Prime Minister then introduces President Kagame to the Chief of Defense Staff, Rear Admiral Weems Gorman. And the Chief of State Protocol, and the other members of the party will await the President's inspection of the Guard of Honor. President Kagame now stands on the saluting dais. That brings to an end the royal salute rendered by the Guard of Honor, and you heard there the playing of the national anthem of the Republic of Rwanda. The anthem is called the Rwanda Nziza, which means beautiful Rwanda, and has been the national anthem since January 1, 2002. It replaced Rwanda Ruwaku, which had been the national anthem since 1962. President Kagame, rather, of Rwanda, is being invited now to inspect the guard by the guard commander. And the guard commander is giving him some directions here. Major Jennifer Mackenzie. And she has 31 years and 11 months of military service to the Jamaica Defense Force. Here the massed bands and the Jamaica Regiment Corps of Drums, directed by Lieutenant Raphael Salazar, Bandmasters Warrant Officer Class 1 Paul Johnson and Warrant Officer Class 1 Gregory Nicholson. And that concludes the inspection of the Guard of Honor. The Chief of Defense Staff now escorts the President back to the saluting dais. we await the royal salute, the playing of Jamaica's national anthem. Chief of Defense Staff will now escort President Kagame over to the receiving line and resume her position thereafter. As I mentioned earlier, the Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, invited President Kagame to Jamaica a few years ago, but due to COVID-19, this state visit was in fact delayed. We now see Prime Minister Andrew Holness greeting the President once again, and Prime Minister Holness introduces the President to the Leader of the Opposition, shaking hands now with the Finance Minister, Dr. Clark, meeting Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith and other members of the Cabinet, Audley Shaw. The Honorable Olivia Grange is meeting the President now. He just met Minister Mackenzie and the President of the Senate. And of course, going down that receiving line, meeting Minister Samuda, Senator Aubin Hill, our Attorney General, and the members of the Cabinet are meeting President Kagame. With the masks and at this angle, I confess, I cannot make out everyone's face. I do know that that was the Mayor of Kingston, Councillor Delroy Williams, and Ambassador Saunders, the Police Commissioner, and other dignitaries and senior members of government. So those last persons there on the right of your screen were members of President Kagame's team from Rwanda. So following this arrival, President Kagame will lay a floral tribute at the shrine of Jamaica's first national hero, the Right Excellent Marcus Mosiah Garvey, at the National Heroes Park. And his convoy will be leaving the airport in a few moments. Later on, he will be a guest at the launch of Jamaica 60 at Jamaica House. Tomorrow, President Kagame will address a special joint sitting of the Houses of Parliament before attending a state dinner in the evening hosted by Their Excellencies, the Governor-General and the Most Honourable Lady Allen at King's House. On Friday, the President will meet with Prime Minister, the Most Honourable Andrew Holness at Jamaica House, and there will also be bilateral talks at the Office of the Prime Minister and a Think Tank 2020, Think Jamaica rather, 2022 government-to-government dialogue at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel before his departure. And I did mention before that his schedule is pretty packed. It has indeed been a very windy afternoon, very warm here at the National Airport, the Norman Manley International Airport. We see the Governor-General donning a hat, no doubt to shield him from the brunt of this very warm afternoon sun. Jamaica and Rwanda blowing in the wind here at the Norman Manley International Airport. The guard of honor for the state visit of the President of Rwanda is furnished by the Caribbean Military Academy. The soldiers on parade are from Bravo Company, 10th Battalion, Jamaica National Service Corps. This cohort of the National Service Corps soldiers are expected to complete their training on the 23rd of September this year. And of course, the uniform for the parade will be number 1 dress and those bright red tunics with red striped navy blue trousers. Looking very smart as always. And we see that convoy making its way off the tarmac and leaving the Norman Manley International Airport on its way directly to the National Heroes Park, where President Kagame will lay a floral tribute at the shrine of our first national hero, Marcus Mosiah Garvey. It has indeed been a lovely afternoon. The parade, the colors, the music, the ceremony. We do hope that you enjoyed it, as did we, bringing it to you. Thank you for joining our live broadcast, and we hope you will continue to follow the activities of the state visit on our various social media platforms and by visiting the website of the Jamaica Information Service. I'm Stacey Ann Smith. Do enjoy the rest of your evening.